Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. I was at Basel World in 2016 when Breitling launched this enormous Avenger Hurricane. A 50mm watch. This is about as Breitling got back in the pre-Georges Curran era. 24-hour dial, 50mm case. It does have their own movement and impressive specifications, but it is a left field kind of watchmaking logic, combining a premium chronometer grade manufacturer in-house mechanical movement with a unique high-performance polyamide case that is effectively a hybrid of nylon and carbon fibers. Breitling calls this Breitlight, and it certainly lives up to its name. This whole watch with an uncut strap, 50mm with a clasp, has a mass of just 111.65 grams. Now, it is huge. When I say this is as Breitling got back in that day, I mean the Schneider family, late Schneider family era Breitling paradigm. 50 in diameter, 17.1 millimeters thick, from lug tip to lug tip, 60.8 millimeters with a 24mm spacing between the lugs. Now on the wrist, you can see it is comically oversized for me. It's actually comfortable, and as light as it is, it wouldn't be unwelcome, except when I look and realize that this would fit better on my bicep. This is for a big man. There are those to whom even large watches seem undersized. If you're Shaq, if you're LeBron, if you're Arnold, if you're a meathead and you just can't get a big enough watch, well, this is for you. It's huge. If IWC makes the big pilot's watch, this is the biggest pilot's watch. It's thick, but then again, with a cuff proportional to your enormous Herculean forearm, who knows, maybe a jacket cuff will ride up over it. Here we have a combination of textile and yellow rubber, and you can see there's a hollow underneath to make it more flexible and allow the watch to breathe, so your wrist will breathe underneath the watch. And then we have these pre-scored little sections to cut this to length, so this will wind up even lighter than the rated 111.65 with a full-length strap. So just keep that in mind, but you're going to want to rely on us to cut this for you, because you can see you're going to have to cut through the textile. So we'd rather do that with the tools we have and get the sizing just right than force you to try that with scissors, a knife, or a meat cleaver. One thing though is you don't have to be perfect, because this features a unique upgrade that was uncommon on Breitling watches back in 2016, which is a push-button incremental slider. So there are several little detents in there, and as you push the button, you release it so it can slide back and forth for incremental adjustment. And it is a great sizing tool. If you're getting 95% of the way there by cutting the strap, that'll get you the rest of the way. If your wrist expands or contracts due to activity or inactivity, again, you've got the slider. Twin trigger release, upscale compared to the way most Breitling clasps were made at the time. Most of them were clamshell or friction fit. The triggers are a big upgrade. Now, this is also made of Breitlight. So you've got that nylon-like high-performance polyamide, and then you've got these carbon fibers that are in it. So the carbon fiber provides the matrix that'll prevent it from ever fracturing all the way through, and then the nylon, or the high-performance thermoplastic here, gives it solidity and holds its form. So like all composites, the idea is to create a material that is stronger in combination than any of its constituents. And it is a type of thermoplastic, though you know thermoplastics are designed to become malleable at a certain temperature. The temperature here is incredibly high, which is why this type of material is often used in automotive engine applications or transmission applications where you need some sort of polymer to make a complex shape or component, but it also has to resist very high temperatures in proximity to combustion, and that's what this type of thermoplastic does. Now you can see it's a relatively simple case. We have some knurling on the crowns as well as the pushers. It is a screw down crown here, so the watch is highly water resistant. You can see on the case back, 100 meters. The bezel is a dive style, and it's 120 click, and the detent and the click actually quite good. Feels good, sounds good, and you can see it's still a captive bezel, Breitling style, where you have these little screws that fix the bezel to the case, and you need to remove those screws to remove the bezel. It can't be snapped off, which means that damage and impact can't pop the bezel off. Zinn also does this. A couple of small volume case makers do this. It's really a better, more deluxe, and more secure way to build a bezel. It's just a bit more expensive, which is why it's rarely seen. And then you can see there's this inboard ring called the chimney that physically separates the bezel from the crystal in case there's an impact. You've got that buffer right there. Another thing you'll appreciate is that there's an enormous luminescent pearl. If you do want to use this as a light-duty diver, remember, unidirectional bezel, take a look in the dark. Very easy to read this entire dial. Super easy, in fact, including the seconds hand of the chronograph. Now, taking a look at the bezel pearl, it's enormous. It's like the moon, a full moon. And you can use this as a timing instrument. It is a 24-hour dial, which means the hour hand makes one circuit per calendar day. So this watch is going to give you a lot of luminescence. Every single hour is calibrated on the 24-hour dial. Well, taking a look at that dial, it's matte black to resist glare. It's a little bit of a hybrid of a chronomat, a cosmonaut, and a super ocean all in one. We do have a couple of subsidiary setting modes. We've got hacking seconds. You can see the snapping of that instantaneous day change, one of the best qualities of Breitling caliper B01. So there's your hacking seconds right there. It's 4 hertz beat rate. It's got a quick set for the date. It all pivots on 47 joules. The movement is a 5-position adjusted COSC certified Swiss chronometer. And you've got that 70-hour power reserve, vertical clutch and column wheel. The vertical clutch allowing for a very smooth engagement, no jump, no stagger when you start the chrono. The column wheel allowing for a really crisp feel, and I've long felt that Breitling's B01 has one of the best column wheel feels and sounds in the business. The vertical clutch can also be used if you wish to just leave it running on a full-time basis. So if you wish to leave it running, the vertical clutch has no additional wear and tear because of the way the engagement works. So you can leave it running if you just like to have that running center seconds hand. You can also see that all the hands feature a gray matte finish for anti-glare qualities. And there's a scale outboard that goes up to 100. Some people ask about that. That's called a decimeter scale, which was once desirable for certain technical applications. It's uncommon now, but Breitling retains it for historical reasons. And if you want to Google that, you can learn all about decimeter scales. One feature that I appreciate is that the font used on the digital style bezel is also the font used on the dial for the hours. So that's well done from a design standpoint. No two of these Breitlight cases are ever going to be exactly the same because the fibers never fall the same way twice. This is a fun watch, and for the right kind of collector with an open mind and a big wrist, this is going to give a lot of value. Reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.